Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about Palworld and the Nintendo lawsuit. There's no new updates, but there is an update on how the Palworld dev team reacted to it, and I think it's very interesting to see like their reactions to when Nintendo filed the lawsuit. We're going to be on PC Gamer today. This is by Kate Bailey. Thank you for the article. It'll be linked down in the description if you are interested in checking it out for yourself. The title goes, "It was a very depressing day. Palworld community manager reveals studio's reaction to the Nintendo lawsuit. The lawsuit came as a surprise, and the lead developer to hire security guards for its Tokyo Game Show presence." I'm surprised it had to hire security guards for the Tokyo Game Show. I guess some people take this type of stuff way too seriously, and don't get me wrong, I care about video games a lot and I care about the video game industry a lot, but needing security guards means people are taking it way too far. Like, I can understand being upset or frustrated, but like, needing security is insane. And I can imagine that it would be a very depressing day, because from what I know, the Palworld devs were very careful about copyright and all that type of stuff, which is why Nintendo had to go the patent route instead of copyright, because the Palworld devs were very careful about copyright laws and not wanting to steal anything. So I'm sure it would be a very hectic day when the Palworld devs found out about that. Just before we get into the article, I'd like to remind everyone, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Comment down below what you guys think about this lawsuit. And I also do a podcast called Two Buds One Podcast, if you'd like to check it out, in the description. Nintendo's announcement that it was suing Pocketpair, the developer of the massively successful Palworld, came as a shock last year, not the least to Pocketpair itself. The lawsuit stunned the games industry, and internally it sent Pocketpair scrambling for answers. Yeah, I bet. I'm pretty sure it says it down here, but they did a lot of check to make sure that this wouldn't happen, so it must have been a huge shock to them. Looking back at the studio's reaction to the lawsuit during the talk at GDC 2025 today, Pocketpair Global Community Manager John Buckley said that it didn't feel good, obviously, when the announcement arrived. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone would feel good about being any company getting sued by a massive company by something that you were pretty sure it wasn't going to happen because you did the prerequisite checks and went through like the lawyers and stuff. "We did legal checks before Palworld release and they're all cleared in Japan," Buckley remembers. "So obviously when the lawsuit was announced, we were like, what?" We went back to the lawyers, and lawyers contacted the courts and asked what's going on, and that's when we realized it was a patent they were going for. Yeah, which is weird in my opinion, and the patent in the US was denied. There was like 23 patents and 22 of them were denied. One did get through, but all the patents in Japan are still a thing. So it's really weird, and we don't really know what's going on internally in the lawsuit right now, I don't think. Nintendo announced a lawsuit in September 2024 asking for injunctions against Palworld as well as 5 million yen, around $33,476 in the current exchange rate, for infringing on 3 separate patents, among them the similarity of the PAL Sphere to the Pokemon series Pokeballs. Nintendo had registered these patents in the filing not long after Palworld's release, setting the stage for the lawsuit. Now, if I remember correctly, this statement, registering the patent not long after Palworld's release, is like, the problem is that it's true, but not technically true, because they did have patents much earlier, but they like extended what the patents meant recent within the last couple years. They already had the patents in Japan on other things, and they tried to extend the definitions of what the patents covered, if I remember correctly, because I don't think they filed the new patents in Japan. Once again, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, so I could be misinterpreting what the language was, but from what I read, that's what they were doing, because they already had a lot of these patents already existing, and they were just trying to extend the definition of what they were. If I remember correctly, it was after Legends Arceus was one of the big games. When that game came out, they filed a ton of patents trying to extend what that meant. Buckley remembers the announcement as a very depressing day for the studio. Yeah, I bet. Pretty much everyone at Pocketpair is a huge fan, so it was a very depressing day. Everyone's head down or walking in the rain, he said. "It changed a lot of things for us. We were just about to release the PlayStation version. We were just about to go to Tokyo Game Show, so obviously we had to scale back a little bit and hire security guards and stuff like that." I wonder why they had to hire security guards. Well, like, the Nintendo fans that upset at them? Because obviously, like, Nintendo itself isn't going to do anything like that, but I wonder why they had to hire security guards. And it sucks they had to scale back, because Palworld is really was especially popping off when they released, and they've been still doing very well, because they've been slowly updating the game with new content and new stuff, and it's been, honestly, I've played it, it's really fun and really interesting, and really annoying, because Palworld is nothing like Pokemon, like literally nothing like Pokemon in terms of the game, and it's really sad because I can't believe, like, for instance, the Palsphere patent is like, guys, you don't own Nintendo, you don't own the concept of a ball, you know, like that's what a Pokeball is. It's a ball, and it's just crazy that you can try to patent something like that and be successful, at least somewhat successful, because it does exist in Japan at least, but I don't think it exists anywhere else. They were rejected in the US. So it's crazy that they have a patent on a ball because it's just stupid. Pocketpair released a statement shortly after the lawsuit was filed, calling it truly unfortunate while apologizing to fans. Yeah, I remember that statement. Yeah. At his GZC talk, Buckley also discussed the general reaction to Palworld's launch, which included assumptions of plagiarism. I think very few companies survive what Palworld situation like we did. Yeah, I mean, that's probably why they had to do the security guards, because people were so convinced that Palworld just stole the models from Pokemon. And first of all, I don't know why you want to do the steal the models from Pokemon, because the graphics of Pokemon games has never been good. Like the graphics of Pokemon games since the 3DS, because they started doing the 3D graphics, has always sucked. And like the graphics of Pokemon aren't good, and the models of the Pokemon aren't very high fidelity. Like they're not that good, especially recently. The Pokemon models, standing still, the Pokemon models are okay, but as soon as they start moving, you can notice like, oh my god, these things are not made for modern hardware. To be fair, it's because the engine of Pokemon is like really old and desperately needs an update. But I can imagine after going through that whole process of going through the lawyers, doing all the actual necessary stuff to make sure that you're not going to get copyright infringed on or infringing someone's copyright and then getting sued anyway for something completely different that honestly, in my opinion, should not exist. You should not be able to copyright the concept of a ball and throwing a ball at a monster, but that's besides the point. And yeah, the plagiarism accusations was insane. Like the Palworld devs, I know for a fact, were getting like terrible emails sent to them and stuff like that, which now that I think about it, makes sense about the security guards thing, because there were some people very angry at them and everyone thought they stole from the Pokemon Company, which I must say is insane to think about. Like, I don't know. I think the only other company would be more stupid to try to steal from is like something like Disney. Like, you don't steal from the Pokemon Company. They have more money than the entire world. They have more money than some countries. So you don't want to fight them, which is why they were very careful with actual copyright protection and like, hey, we're not stealing anything. Influenced, of course, but like they stole nothing from them. And it's very sad. And I still hope they survive. Luckily, they are doing well enough. I'm very interested in see if there's ever going to be an update on the actual lawsuit itself, or if they're just going to settle. I understand if they settle. I hope they don't, because it's going to set a really bad precedent on what big companies can get away with in terms of patents. But it's kind of understandable if they do try to settle out of court, because you're not going to outmoney the Pokemon Company. You're just not going to. You're not going to outmoney Pokemon or the Pokemon Company, Nintendo. So I kind of understand. But at the same time, I think Pocketpair are kind of too stubborn to do that. So I think they're fighting it. I feel like we already would have heard about a settlement if they were trying to settle. Because I truly do, like, I mean, they even showed initiative when they went through the lawsuit stuff and talked to lawyers and stuff. So like they obviously knew that they obviously weren't intending to do this, and they're all huge fans of Pokemon and just wanted to make a game with a similar concept in terms of the capturing monsters thing, but in terms of actual using them and what you do with them, completely different. Because Pokemon is a JRPG and Palworld is a survival crafting game. So very different games in terms of actual concept. So hopefully it actually gets solved, or like, I guess it doesn't get solved, but hopefully they can survive this, because I really enjoy Palworld and every time there's a new update, I'm always into it. So hopefully they survive. I'm interested to see the response to it, and obviously I kind of assumed that it would be like a sad time or something like that, because no one wants to get sued, but I can't imagine the atmosphere of the team when they did that, especially going through all the proper things to make sure they weren't getting sued, and they get sued over something else that they didn't really know about and shouldn't exist. But hopefully they'll survive. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Remember, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you disliked it. I understand. Comment down below what you guys think about this and how you guys would think if you were sued by a billion-dollar company. If you'd like to check me out on other places, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads. If you'd like to check me on any of those social media platforms. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.